888 words within the 900-word target, plus or minus 5%. The file did save despite the tool warning. Here's the final script. In 2013, executives at Wells Fargo sat down with an internal report that should have ended careers. It showed employees secretly opening accounts customers never asked for, thousands of them. They read it. They filed it away. 3 years and 3.5 million fake accounts later, the executive who ran that division walked away with a $125 million payout. So why did you only hear about this after it was already too late? For most of America, Wells Fargo wasn't just a bank. It was the stagecoach on the logo, the oldest name in American banking, founded in 1852, the bank your grandparents trusted with their first savings account. Wall Street loved it even more. While other banks drowned in the 2008 crash, Wells Fargo kept posting numbers that made analysts giddy, especially one number: cross-sell ratio, the average number of products each customer held. Wells Fargo bragged it was nearly double the industry average. Investors called it the gold standard of retail banking. Nobody asked how they were hitting those numbers. The answer started years earlier inside the community banking division run by an executive named Carrie Tallstedt. Her division had one job: sell. Employees were handed daily quotas, 8 financial products per customer. A target branch manager's nicknamed 8 is great. Fail to hit it and you could lose your job. As early as 2002, according to a whistleblower lawsuit later unsealed, employees were already warning HR that quotas were pushing coworkers to open accounts customers never requested. By 2007, internal audits flagged the exact same pattern: fake email addresses, unauthorized debit cards, accounts secretly funded with money moved out of customers' real ones. The reports went up the chain. CEO John Stumpf kept citing the cross-sell number in earnings calls, calling it proof of deep customer relationships. Tallstedt kept her job. The quotas didn't move. Not down, up. So who caught the fraud? Not the executives. Low-level employees did, by refusing to keep lying to customers or by getting caught doing exactly what they'd been told to do to survive. Between 2011 and 2016, Wells Fargo quietly fired more than 5,300 employees, almost all of them tellers making close to minimum wage. The internal ethics line received thousands of complaints about the pressure. Most went nowhere. In 2013, the LA Times published an investigation laying the scheme out in public. Wells Fargo's official response: a few bad apples. Behind closed doors, the audits proving otherwise stayed in a filing cabinet. But that's not even the part they really didn't want out. When regulators forced Wells Fargo to open its books in 2016, the number wasn't in the thousands. It was 2 million fake accounts. Investigators kept digging, and within a year that climbed to 3.5 million savings accounts, credit cards, lines of credit customers never asked for and often never knew existed. Real people took real damage. Customers were charged overdraft fees on money secretly siphoned from their own checking accounts. Credit scores dropped over cards they never opened. It didn't stop at bank accounts either. Wells Fargo had also enrolled hundreds of thousands of auto loan customers in insurance they didn't need, some of which pushed people straight into default and repossession. Meanwhile, the money at the top told a different story. Tallstedt left the bank in 2016 with a retirement package worth roughly $125 million. Stumpf walked away with a career's worth of compensation untouched. The fine the company itself paid the government, $185 million, was less than what Tallstedt alone took home on her way out. For years, that's where the story ended. No criminal charges, no prison time, just a fine the bank absorbed like a rounding error and a quiet exit for the people who built the machine. It took public outrage, congressional hearings, and years of pressure before regulators moved again. In 2020, Stumpf was fined $17.5 million and banned from banking for life. In 2023, a full decade after that first internal report, Tallstedt was finally fined and banned too. No jail for either of them. Compare that to the tellers fired in 2011 for missing quotas built to force this exact behavior. The people at the bottom lost their jobs and their references. The people at the top lost a job title they'd already retired from with the money already banked. So think back to that report sitting on a desk in 2013, the one everyone in that room read and did nothing about. The quota system that caused all of it wasn't unique to Wells Fargo. Sales-driven incentive structures like 8 is great still exist across retail banking, just under different names. Wells Fargo says it's reformed. It's still operating under a Federal Reserve asset cap imposed in 2018 that, as of this year, still hasn't been fully lifted. So here's the question nobody in that boardroom wants you asking. If the incentive structure that built this scandal is still standard practice across the industry, whose account is being opened right now without them knowing?